In this tutorial, we're going to learn how we can selectively change the color of objects within our images. Here, I have this image of a beautiful blue vintage car, but let's say I would like to change the color of the car without affecting the rest of the image. I'm going to do this using an adjustment layer found over here in my Adjustments tab. If you can't see this Adjustments tab, you can go to your Window menu and tick Adjustments here. Now the adjustments layer I'm looking for is called Hue and Saturation, which is this one here. I'm going to click on that and you'll notice it brings up a panel here, and it also adds an adjustment layer with a layer mask here. Let's slide this hue adjustment and observe the way it changes our image. So it's currently changing the color of my car, which is great, but it's also affecting the colors of the rest of my image, which isn't ideal. So let's reset those changes. We need to be more specific about the colors we're influencing. So currently our settings are in master, and this means that all the colors in our image are being changed. I only want my car color to change, and it sits within the blue to cyan range. So let's choose cyan, and we can be even more specific here and use this eyedropper tool to choose the exact color we're wanting to influence. Alright, so Photoshop has chosen a range for us. You can see it's in the blue to cyan range here. Now we have two bars of color. The top bar indicates the colors you have chosen to change, and the bottom bar shows what these colors will change into. So let's have a look at what that looks like. So if I begin changing the hue, you can see the top bar of color remains the same and the bottom bar changes. Our car color also changes, and you can see that in the background those blue walls are changing too. That's okay, we can fix that later down the track. We're also able to influence the saturation of the color as well as the lightness. So I'm going to change this to a lighter pink. Okay, perfect. Alright, the car looks good. However, I didn't want these walls back here to change as well, so the next step will be getting them back to their original blue. We'll do this by using this layer mask. Layer masks essentially control the transparency of your layer. I prefer to think of them as hiding and revealing the changes you've made, with white meaning the entire layer is transparent, thus revealing any changes you've made. You can then invert this mask to black by hitting Ctrl-I on your keyboard with that layer mask selected. And the layer mask is now opaque, and it looks like we've made no changes to our image. So black conceals any changes we've made. I think of it as white reveals, black conceals, if that helps. So let's get this layer mask back to white, revealing our changes by hitting Ctrl-I. And what we're going to do is use our brush tool to paint black onto our layer mask to hide the changes we made to the walls in the background. So with our layer mask selected, let's go to our brush tool, and we're going to make sure we're painting with black. So remember, white reveals, black conceals. Adjust the size of your brush using your bracket keys and begin to paint. Remember to zoom for detail work and be careful around the edges of the pink car. You'll notice that the changes you make are reflected in your layer mask, so we can actually see the places we've painted with black. If at any point you make a mistake, see here I've actually concealed some of that pink. I'll just change my brush color to white to reveal the change again. So I'm just going to continue painting, making sure I'm being careful around any small details. Alright, I'm happy with that. Let's turn the visibility of our adjustment layer on and off to see the change. Perfect, and that's how you can change colours using hue and saturation with a layer mask.